guy, he was Persian. Mordecai is Jew. Okay, living in Persia. But Mordecai, he didn't bow to a person who is rank 2. Okay? That's why he hated Mordecai.
Decree to kill all Mordecai's people, the Jews.
Kill
When
Jews.
Mordecai learned about this, he was very upset, as were all the Jews in Persia. When Queen Esther's servants came and told her about how upset Mordecai was, she sent one of her servants, Hatag, to go to Mordecai and find out what was troubling him. So Hatag went out to Mordecai, and Mordecai told him of the plan to kill God's people. Mordecai said that he wanted Esther to go to the king to ask for him to save the Jews. Esther knew that anyone who went to the king without being called could be put to death. But Mordecai reminded Esther that she may have been made queen for such a time as this. So Esther asked for the Jews to pray for her and fast for 3 days. Then Esther put on her royal robes and went before the king. When the king saw Esther, he was happy to see her and asked, "What do you want, Queen Esther? I will give it to you, even if it's half the kingdom." So Esther asked the king if he and Haman would come to a banquet that she had prepared for them, and the king agreed. Esther held a banquet and then asked the king and Haman to come to a second banquet the next night. That night, the king was reminded of how Mordecai had once saved his life. King Xerxes decided that he must honor Mordecai and that Haman would help. Then, at the second banquet, Esther told the king about the plot against her people. The king was angry and asked, "Who would do such a thing?" Esther said it was Haman, and the king ordered Haman to be killed on that very night. But the decree to kill all the Jews was still in place, and the Jews were still in danger. So Mordecai asked the king to issue a new decree so that the Jews could defend themselves. The king did, and the Jews defeated all their enemies. God's people were saved and celebrated their great victory.
Okay, so Esther, she was queen, even though she is a Jew, living in Persia a long time ago. The Haman was second rank in the Persia Empire. There are many captives, Jews living in Persia. Okay, Haman was ranked in 2. He hated Jews. Okay, Israeli people, he hated. So he had planned to kill all Jews in Persia. But the Esther told the king the plan of killing Jews by Haman. Then the king decided to stop that plan made by Haman. So the king killed the Haman. So the Esther, she saved a lot of Jews, Jewish people. Yeah, that's the story. All right. Then, also in modern society, we have many relationships, right? Social relationship, we make friendship, we make relation with families, friends, social, and professional relationships, many relationships. Especially the modern contemporary society is digital society, right? Even though the advance of technology, we get benefit from advanced technology, but in other way, also people feel isolated, kind of, feeling of separate from others. That's the, modern society challenges. That means we cannot make true relationship. We cannot make deep relationship with people. Even though we have many connections, right? We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, many connections. We are connected to everybody, but the problem is we don't make true relationship with people. That's modern, contemporary society problem. So, for effective evangelism, this slide say we have to make authentic, true, deep, strong relationship, strong connection with people. That means that helps spreading out the gospel. Okay? So, building authentic relationship based on true. We have to build, we have to make true each other. We have to respect each other. Even though we are from different cultural background, I respect you, I respect you. And also we have to have care for each other. We have to help each other. That is a base for authentic relationship, true relationship. Trust, respect, care. That is base of relationship. So by building those three things, we can make true, good relationship. There is also another base for evangelism, spreading out good news. Once we have good relationship with someone who is not Christian, but we have trust, we have respect for each other, we care for each other, then I can introduce Bible to my friend. Hey man, how's day? How's it going? Are you okay? We can talk about something like that. Then I'm having happy life because I have faith. So friend asks, what kind of faith do you have? Yeah, I believe in Jesus. That's why I'm so happy. Even though I am in, trouble, I am happy. Those things we can talk about. Once we build strong, authentic relationships, right? Yeah. So to do this, we have to make effort to make good relationship. We need time, long time, yeah, to make good relationship, right? It doesn't make instantly, not like this, right? So we need more time to make good relationship. And then we also have to do effort. We have to give someone, help. We have to do some kind of, material help or spiritual help. Those things we have to give them. So that is, how we build. It needs time, it needs effort to make relationship. So it could be done, your neighbor, your coworker, your friends. That means building good relationship means we can demonstrate Jesus' love. Also means we do act of kindness and service other people. That is one of the way to bring people to Christianity. Okay, for evangelist, also there should be some kind of professional efforts. Someone who wants to do evangelist. Okay, so in this slide, for empowering and equipping believers who wants to become evangelist. Okay, to share their faith to other people. Those are evangelists. Okay, so for them, they need training. They need resources about information for evangelism and resources for fund. Money. Also, there should be opportunity to involve in some kind of activities. Eventually, trainings, resources, opportunity involving any evangelical activity is finally for personal growing. Okay, that means if you are not growing in personal, you fail in evangelism. It is a simple like I am a liar. I'm natural born liar. Okay, but I believe in Jesus. I confess, I like to forgive me. I do this every day. But I, personally, I have not grown myself. Okay? Without growing myself to be a good person, we cannot spread out our gospel to other people. First, to be good evangelist, before that, you have to be good person first. Yeah, then we can spread out the gospel. That is what it is. So, to learn to be a good person and then evangelist, we have to do, involve in some kind of group studies, evangelism workshops, kind of mentoring, seminars for relationships. Those are all included in for becoming good evangelist. Okay. Before that, becoming good evangelist, we have to be good person first. Okay, another challenge is globalization. Okay, that means we are all connected in communication. The distance, actual physical distance, is not a big problem for trading things, communicate, each other, right? Long time ago, the the technology was not developed like 100 years ago. Even though those time the distance was problem, so everybody was not connected. But nowadays, all the people on earth connected. We hear news other side of the globe, right? We connect by phone. We get information from YouTube's. That is global. We trade, the products, right? China to U.S., Japan to U.S., Korea to U.S. All good things, all the products made in Asia to Europe, right? So this is a globalization. But I'm gonna show you a little short video, okay? What is actual globalization means, okay? That means anyway, we are all connected. But here, connect means resonate. This is very important. A long time ago, not a long time ago. Last semester, I told you guys empathy, right? Empathy. Very similar, empathy and resonate. Okay, empathy is like feeling, understand, someone else's. Yes, someone else's. I understand your situation. I respect your culture, something like that. That is empathy. More with empathy, you have the empathy, then you communicate. I have empathy for you. I have empathy for you. Then you and me communicate each other. That is resonate. Not simple communication. Okay? Communication plus is resonate, we call. I resonate you means you, me, I have same frequency. Kind of, most Korean people say, we have same chemistry, something like that. I have same chemistry with you. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, more academically, we can call, actually this resonate coming from science. That is a science term, okay? But mostly people use that. I resonate you means you and me communicate. You understand me, I understand you, even though we have difference. Moreover, I also respect your emotions too. You respect my emotions too. That is empathy. And communicate, resonate. So why I tell you this, even though we have many connections, like digital connections, and then the the transportation is developed, right? We travel airplane, we can go everywhere on earth. But I want to ask you, are you really connected to someone? That means, do you have real, true relationship with somebody? Without making true relationship, we cannot spread out our gospel. That is the point. Okay? So, globalization, I'm going to show you the video, the meaning of globalization. Okay? Play video. Resonate, yeah.
To move a person in an emotional manner. The speaker hopes her inspirational story will resonate with audience members and spur them to chase their dreams.
Yes.
Since the book focuses on Mexico's independence, it seems to resonate more powerfully with my Mexican students. The alcoholic's tragic story seemed to resonate with other members of the sobriety group. The movie about the origin of Hanukkah will resonate strongly with members of the Jewish faith. Although the writer hoped his books would resonate with all of his fans, he was glad a few people were moved by his efforts. Resonate. To move a person in an emotional manner. Resonate. To move a person in an emotional manner. Resonate. To move a person in an emotional manner.
Yes, that is resonate, okay? So I want you to truly, have resonate with someone. That means build true relationship, true friendship, yeah. Okay. Okay, and then with globalization, we have many cultural diversity, right? Mexican culture, American culture, white culture, Asian culture, Japanese, Korean, Chinese culture, European cultures. So the next slide, the video tell you about the cultural diversity, okay? So let's see what is cultural diversity, and then how we can understand, the difference of the cultures.
Cultural diversity is about accepting and respecting people's differences. After all, in order to communicate effectively, you need to understand your audience and deliver your message in a way that will make the most sense to your audience.
Okay, communicate with someone who is in different culture. The way it should be very simple. The way that I communicate should be things that you guys can understand. Okay, that is important.
When the audience is culturally diverse, the challenge is to understand their differences and be sensitive to how your message will be received. Let's explain 4 ways to communicate better in today's diverse workplace. 1. Keep your language clear and simple, as you may not share the same first language. Avoid jargon, slang terms, and colloquial expressions.
Okay, jargon, slang, colloquial means like special language, professional language. Don't try to use those things. Jargon means also special language. for scholar use, the high knowledge professors use some kind of the term most common people don't understand. So try not to use those things, okay? Make it simple, words people can understand easily.
Two, different cultures have different non-verbal forms of communication. So, make sure that you are not ignorant of differences in body language.
Yeah, last semester I told you people have different meaning of the motion, gestures, right? In Korea, this is very, very rude. You can get punched when you do this to someone.
For example, consider personal space and touching habits of different cultures.
Yes.
Consider how appropriate handshaking, embraces, or direct eye contact is. 3. To make sure that you understand perfectly well, paraphrase or repeat what you hear. This will minimize misunderstandings. 4. Be open and inclusive of other cultures by getting to know colleagues from different cultural backgrounds. This will help build relationships. As you get to know their cultures better, you will also communicate more effectively with colleagues. Communicating effectively in a culturally diverse environment requires tact and sensitivity. So, the better you know other cultures, the more effectively you can communicate in a diverse workplace.
So here in this video talking about cultural sensitivity, okay? That means you navigate. Navigate means you just see what the difference of the culture is how different between people. So someone has Korean culture, someone has Japanese culture, someone has Mexican culture. That is navigating. So you know what their culture is like. Then you communicate. When you communicate, it should be very simple. It should be very the way to understand easily. Okay? Then there should be also understanding is involved. That means, oh, your culture is bad. I mean, I'm not talking about the stealing is bad, right? In any other culture, stealing is bad. Hitting people is bad. But traditionally, long time culture, I'm talking about it, okay? That's cultural background. When we talk about cultural background, we cannot say your culture is bad, your culture is right, good. We don't say that, okay? So understand means I understand your cultural, each of your cultural background. And then we have to have open mind to accept some of their cultures. Then respect is all involved in cultural sensitivity. Okay, navigate, know the difference of cultures for people, and understand, open mind, respect, and take some of their culture. That is cultural sensitivity. Okay, another topics. There are challenges in contemporary society. We have to deal with some difficulties in contemporary society, but also there is opportunity for us do better in modern society. Okay, like, everybody knows there are many opportunities for spreading out our gospels. So people engage in any kind of, activities, right? Because we are all connected. We are living on, globalized world. So we can get better to spread out our gospels. So one of the topics we're gonna cover is in modern contemporary society, we have digital connections, right? Everybody, we are connected. Globalization, multiculturalism. Yeah, we have, we meet many different cultures nowadays. Also, even though the civilization is, built, still there are social injustice everywhere, every society. So we can deal, justice activism. Also, relational evangelism. I talked, before. Make good relationship means you can have better chance to spread out gospel. Okay, and then creativity, innovations. Okay, I'm gonna show you some of the site. Means we can we can get more opportunity to use many good tools. Like like for example, for this computer, PowerPoint is one of the simple example to show or deliver my message with visualization, right? So nowadays, with high technology advanced, we have many digital tools to use for spreading out gospels. So we're gonna talk about that too. Also, personal testimonies. Okay, I think with that one, I can finish today's lecture. Okay. So one more time, I told you guys this last public. Did I lecture about public speaking here? Last? No? I'm in another college. Okay. Yeah. So, the spread out, the digital technology, everybody knows social media, right? Facebook, Instagram, Katalk, many things. So that means we can get the connection with people. We can have opportunity to access to certain information you want to get, right? Yeah. These are nowadays. So using those things, we can get people to sharing gospel. So there are also there are many good platforms to share our ideas, the Bibles, the messages of Jesus. So that is what is, we can use, many different technologies or digital connectivities. We can use those. By those things, we can spread out, we can deliver our messages to the people. That's what the slide is like. Okay. Also, there are also, dark side of digital connectivity. Okay, this is not kind of a sad story. I told you in the beginning of the class, I asked you guys, do you have true friend? Do you have true relationship with somebody? Even though we are all connected by digital. Okay, this short video shows something that dark side
are looking for something. And I promise you, once you start looking for it, you'll never be able to stop seeing it everywhere you go. When's the last time you've walked into a restaurant and saw
this is how we do it now.
hire a table of friends on their phone, or a group of people on the street, or maybe even your family in the morning, each content to be in their own world, nearly unaware of the reality around them.
The problem is, okay, I understand you have your own world, you have your own world, right? Before the digital age, we can communicate the world of each other's, right? But with digital age, I only communicate with machine. Yeah, that's what the video say. Okay.
Majority of human interaction is nonverbal. What would happen if you removed everything but that small remainder for over a decade? As it turns out, that's the very experiment that we're living in today. I remember when I was growing up, way back in the day, a prehistoric time before everyone had a cell phone, and computers were named after the year they were made in. Okay, I'm not quite a dinosaur yet, but I grew up in a unique time where half of my childhood was without the major technology and platforms that seemed to rule parts of our
Everybody misses, those times.
lives today, and the other half of my childhood was rapidly slingshotted into the new age of technology. I remember from the earlier half of my childhood, life seemed different, especially human interaction. If you wanted to talk with someone, you had no other option but to physically go out and find them and spend uninterrupted time with them in the same room. And
that's true, right? You want to talk with somebody, I have to meet with somebody face to face. That means, more close contacts. I mean, not physically, okay? Emotionally, spiritually, then we can understand each other better. But now, no.
there was nothing pulling your attention away, nothing in the back of your mind reminding you that there are hundreds of other people sharing information that you might be missing out on. That degree of presence, practiced day in and day out, created a different richness to human interaction, with intricacies and nuances that seems to be slowly and gradually lost the further we progress into this new age of technological advancement. And with the meteoric rise in popularity for documentaries like The Social Dilemma, it's safe to say that this is a growing sentiment and realization within today's culture. The terrifying crux to the problem is actually quite simple. There's a massive mismatch between the rate of adaptation and advancement between our biology and technology. Because of the law of accelerating returns, the pace of advancement in information technology is exponential. And while technology continues to grow at a rapid pace, we're left still trying to figure out how it actually impacts us, especially when we're teaching algorithms to predict and modulate our behavior. I don't think that anyone's denying that social media, as well as instant communication, is extremely addictive, and its addiction falls right within the same symptoms as substance abuse. But what we don't quite know yet is how this addiction over time changes not only our behaviors through hacking our positive reinforcement centers of the brain.
Okay, halfway. Okay, addiction. Okay, we know that. Okay, one of the research I just read was, okay, the volume of human brain nowadays is smaller than the people who lived in historic age. I mean, prehistoric age. Yeah, because one of the example was, okay, in old fashioned, we respect elders, right? It is same every culture. They respect the elders. Why? Why prehistoric people respected elders, even though people living in different area, location, in different cultures, they respect elders. Why? Because elders have more and better information, right? Life experiences. They learn. Younger generation, they have to ask, where can I get better food, right? That's why the culture respecting for elder is common, normal. That means why also people to make a live, they have to use their brain a lot, right? But nowadays, we don't want to use our brain. This is my brain now. So our volume of the brain is getting smaller and smaller. And then another researcher, they say even more days in the just short future, there are gonna be another form of human classes, two classes. One class, less than 1% of the society, whole society, who control, who made AI, right? Another class, majority of people, they are controlled by or even slaves of AI. You guys agree? But, I mean, not 100%, but some of them, yeah, agreeable, right? So, okay,
Over
let's
time,
keep
it
watching.
changes our perception of reality itself. When we first embarked upon the social media experiment, we had far more in-person interactions under our belt than we did interactions online. So we took our in-person frame of reference and viewed all of our technological interactions through that lens. But now, in a time when we have hundreds, even thousands of friends, acquaintances, celebrities, and online personalities that we keep up with online, we have slowly over time replaced the majority of our interactions with being digital. How much do we now view our in-person interactions through our new digital lens? As a prominent example, you can look at our growingly
more digital connection, more digital relationship. On the other hand, less in-person relationship, right?
polarized political discourse in modern times, and you see that we've already started to see the symptoms of a very binary interpretation of human interaction. It's also worrisome to think that our upcoming generation's digital presence may end up being more important than their in-person presence.
Yes.
So how do we stop all of this from happening? Is the answer to shut it all down? Just pull the plug on big tech? I don't think that it is. The truth is, we opened Pandora's box, and this is the reality that we're now faced with. So what's the path forward? The first step is underway: awareness. Much of classical conditioning, and if you don't know what that is, Pavlov's dogs might ring a bell, is based on the more non-conscious mechanisms of the brain. If you become conscious of how the conditioning is affecting you, it gives you a degree of control over your behavior. Beyond that, it's important to maintain that balance of in-person and digital interaction. You want the lens that you view the world from to be a full 100% of human communication. Body language, emotion, facial expression, nuanced tonality. It's what we were designed to do, and we can't let that practice atrophy, because that's what creates our sense of identity and community that gives us a healthy view of others in the world. If we can maintain that balance, we can begin to have a healthier relationship.
Yeah. What is even though we have many, connectivities, connection in digital, era. Anyhow, fundamental and most important relationship is in-person relationship. So we have to keep it,
Our online presence, and retain control over the influence these platforms and technologies have on us. These algorithms are based on human behavior and response, and that's something we have control over. Take some small steps today. Maybe start by uninstalling some social media platforms from your phone. Then you have to physically go log into your computer to use it, removing some of the convenience. If you're tied to your phone for work, once the day is done, find some time to spend with your family and friends, and turn your phone completely off for it. Be fully present with the people that you're with. And you just might notice that the world isn't quite as crazy as it seems, and that the life right in front of you is beautiful.
What do you think? Agreeable? Yeah, it gives us, digital age, many benefits, right? We can connect people easily. The help of digital connections. But on the other hand, we lose true relationship between people, in person, face-to-face relationship, true relationship. We lose it. So yeah, same story, globalization. We are all connected by digital. The transportation is, convenient nowadays. With those things, the help of those things, we can spread out our gospel more easily, in more effective way. So we can use, we have to use the globalization and multiculturalism. That means multiculturalism, we have to have cultural sensitivity, right? Understand, navigate, understand, respect, accept those. Yeah, we have to use those things. That's multiculturalism, in other words. Okay, another video that explains dictionary explain. Okay, not an opinion. Just see what globalization is.
We knowingly or unknowingly experience globalization, the worldwide movement of people, ideas, money, goods, data, drugs, weapons, computer and biological viruses, greenhouse gases, and more.
Right? Pandemic, COVID virus. That's one of the big, example of globalization.
This isn't new. People and goods have always moved around the world. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to East Asia, facilitated the spread of fabrics, spices, art, weapons, technology, ideas, and disease over thousands of years. What is new, however, is the scale, velocity, and range of these flows across borders. Think about the speed at which an infectious disease like Ebola or Zika can spread around the world, or the reach of a financial contagion like the crisis of 2008. Look at your smart.
Okay, the collapse of one country's economy, that also affects other countries, right? Yeah. So that means globalization.
And think about the global coordination it took to produce. The interconnectedness of the modern world allows ideas, behaviors, styles, products, and news to spread more quickly and broadly than during any other period of history. But globalization's effects are complex. What represents an upside for some people might represent a downside for others. Technology, for example, allows billions of people to contact friends and access news from around the world. International supply chains, the networks that turn raw materials into finished items, produce and distribute goods more quickly and cheaply than ever. But the pace of technological innovation has also led to the automation of manufacturing processes, which eliminates jobs. Trade is another example. Between 1970 and 2015, global exports and imports of goods each multiplied more than 50 times. More imports lead to increased consumer choices and reduced prices, and more trade can strengthen ties between trading partners and promote peace, security, and growth. But more trade opportunities and technological advances mean many corporations choose to shift their operations to countries where the labor and natural resources are cheaper. And the individuals and companies that can take advantage of international resources experience outsized gains, which widens the growing gap between the rich and the poor. The effects of globalization, both negative and positive, are a reality. No one can opt out entirely. But governments have many options for responding. They can choose how open or closed they want to be towards trade, investment, visitors, immigrants, refugees, internet traffic, and more. Governments can also contend with globalization through collective rather than national responses. A set of international institutions and other arrangements has emerged to manage globalization. Although some countries view globalization as a threat to local identity, culture, or social and political norms, no country can be entirely self-sufficient. The challenge is for individual governments and the world collectively to promote globalization's benefits while effectively helping the individuals and countries that globalization hurts the most.
Yeah, by globalization, there's also benefits. Also, there are also bad effect of globalization. To have cheap coffee in the United States, there are many cheap labor workers in South America and the Africas. The cheap clothing. There are many laborer. They do the many different shift system factories. So there's also that side of the globalization. Okay, also social. There are always problem in our world. Social justice, for activism, for justice, sometimes that helps the people who are in poverty, something like that, right? Someone who is kind of victim of criminals, something like that. So by doing those social activity, that also helps people bring to evangelism. So as Christian, we also have to we have to speak up. We have to do action for the people who is in marginalized, 소외된 사람. People who are people who is in kind of, social injustice systems. Yeah. So someone who is in poverty, yeah, something like that. So as Christian, we have to speak up for those people too. That helps spreading out gospel. Okay. Today there are many videos. The social justice activities. That is one of the issue was in Iran. Okay.
Die iranischen Protestierenden sind unsere Nachbarinnen und Nachbarn.
It's now a solidarity movement. Men, young and old, are treating women with more respect, and women are finding ways to express themselves and then be supported by their male relatives and family and co-workers and even strangers in the streets. So that's really shifted in Iran. That will not go backwards.
Yeah, all over the world, the Iranian, she's actually, the small ethnic group that they didn't have the country. People live in the area, Iraq, northern Iraq and southern Iran. I don't know the name of the tribe. She was one of those, that ethnic group. That time, she didn't cover her head with chador, something like that. There are many different names, right? In Islam culture, Iran is 99% Islam culture. But she didn't wear that. She didn't cover her hair. In Iran, there are cultural police. Someone who doesn't follow the Muslim culture, what was it? Have you guys heard of the Sharia law, right? Sharia, that is Islam kind of law that is above the constitution in some Arab country. Okay. Anyhow, she didn't cover her head. Then cultural police took her in custody. We don't know what happened. Next day, she was unconscious, and then right away she died. The only reason why she was, in custody was she didn't cover her head. Her head. That is so sad. That happens not only in those kind of, so it's kind of stupid things happen in everywhere. In the United States, Korea, Japan, in any other society. I really hate it. Yeah, those kind of things. As a human, we don't know why. Why the lady was punished by not covering her hair. In Asian culture, why ladies, kind of suppressed by men? Why, in some Asian culture, the woman's voice is always, ignored, something like that, right? I don't understand. Everybody's equal, same. So that happens everywhere. So as Christian believers, we have to speak up for those things. Social injustice. We have to do action for those things. That means eventually we can spread out the gospel, love, hope for the people. Okay, same over and over again. Relational evangelism. That means first we have to make ourselves grow to be better person always. Okay, we do those things and we try to make good relationships with people. Strong, true, authentic relationship. To make a relationship, we have to build trust. We have to respect each other. We have to care for each other. That is the basement of true relationship. That is not exceptional for spreading out evangelism. Once you build good relationship, it makes you easier to spread out, to deliver the message of the Bible. Okay, modern technology, there are many good tools for, okay, here it says you have to use your talents, you have to use, skill, it could be computer skill, or you have to, if you have some kind of artistic, talent, you could use, even though you don't have any talents, you think, don't worry. There are many good tools that help you make some kind of new creation. Okay? Help of modern technology. I'll show you some of them. Storytelling, drama, any creative work you could participate nowadays. Okay, hold on. Let me see a little bit of. Okay, I'll show you. Website, okay, free website. Have you guys heard of Post My Word? Post My Word? No? This is free. If you have Google account, okay? Go there. You can make PowerPoint. You can make flyer. You can make logo and everything. There are many, many good templates. You guys know Canva, right? Canva. No? Canva, no? You know Canva? Maybe not? Okay. Okay. This is better than Canva. See? This is it is moving. Kind of, poster, flyer button that is invaded the movie action. Okay, that is good side. Post My Word. Okay, good site to visit, learn. That is very easy to use. Also, you guys know Canva, right? Canva. Right? Also, it has many, many good templates for PowerPoint, logo, slide, whatever, videos. And then also, I'm gonna show you another. Okay, have you guys heard of Pixabay? Pixabay? No? Okay. This is free. Some of them are, most of them are free, okay? Website to download picture, illustration, many, good picture and, graphics. And then even though they have movies too, you could download right here, videos, free download. You could use it for making your own YouTube, okay? Also, there are free music too. Music. Okay, right here, music. These are all free. Okay, so because I am doing those graphics in other school, I am also making some YouTubes. I don't have talent. Help of those things, you can make a good creation that has the message you want to deliver. Okay, so there are many free apps, okay, you can use nowadays. So, creativity, innovations, help of modern technology, you can make creation. Okay. Personal testimony. Okay, let's finish with this personal testimony. If you have a special story about how you become Christian, okay, you can share that story with other people. I'll show you just a short video. One of the the most famous movie star Jim Carrey. You know that, right? Mask, and what it is was comedian and the comic movies, Dumb and Dumber or something. Okay, let's watch how he become to be a Christian.
The meaning of life? You want to know what it is?
He has different story
Love yourself.
from others.
That's it.
He has different approach.
That's what I think
Okay?
it is. Just love yourself.
Dear brothers and sisters, we often hear and share many conversion stories, but the one we are about to tell you is truly extraordinary and moving, as it involves one of the most remarkable American actors, Jim Carrey. The words we will soon hear from him are deeply emotional and touch the heart of each and every one of us. We have always known Jim Carrey for his unmistakable comedic style in iconic films such as Ace Ventura and The Mask. Over time, however, we have discovered another facet of his talent, his dramatic side, through memorable roles in The Truman Show and Man on the Moon. Beyond his film career, Jim has always shown a deep spiritual sensitivity and a commitment to social issues, sometimes putting him at odds with the very entertainment industry that made him famous. In recent years, Jim's life took a dramatic turn, marked by the tragic loss of his former partner, Catriona White, who chose to end her life. This event triggered a media and legal storm against Carrey, with White's family accusing him of being a cause of her extreme action, pointing to behaviors that they claimed devastated Catriona's self-esteem and even exposed her to harmful substances and degrading environments. The legal battle that followed ended in 2018 with a verdict of innocence from the Los Angeles court, but for Jim, the internal process had just begun. This dark period marked the beginning of a profound personal reflection, an inner journey that led him to rediscover and embrace the Christian faith.
You know, people are really cruel. The suicide of his partner is because of Jim Carrey. So people sue him. People are really cruel. But anyway, you know, the verdict was innocent. He has no guilty.
Conversion was not just a spiritual refuge from life's storms, but a true rebirth, a way to find new meaning and direction. But it is his own words that stir emotions and make clear his conversion.
And ultimately, I believe that suffering leads to something.
Okay. Pay attention to what he's saying, suffering. Okay? That's his way to convert him to have faith. Okay?
And in fact, it's the only way that we have to somehow accept and not deny, but feel our suffering and feel our losses, and then we make one of two decisions. We either decide to go through the gate of resentment, which leads to vengeance, which leads to self-harm, which leads to harm to others, or we go through the gate of forgiveness, which leads to grace. And your being here is an indication that you've made that decision already. You've made the decision to walk through the gate of forgiveness to grace, just as Christ did on the cross. He suffered terribly, and he was broken by it to the point of doubt and a feeling of absolute abandonment. It was all we felt. And then there was a decision to be made. And the decision was to look upon the people who were causing that suffering, or the situation that was causing that suffering, with compassion and with forgiveness. And that's what opens the gates of heaven for all of us. So,
Yeah, it is really hard. We open our hearts to someone who give me suffering. Eventually, we have mind to forgive. That is really, really hard. But he was trying to do that. Yeah. Then eventually that turns into Christian.
And renewal through faith. Jim Carrey's story is a powerful testament to how, even in the darkest moments, we can find light, if only we are willing to search for it with an open heart and a renewed spirit. Has Jim Carrey's story inspired you?
That's it for today. Any question? Anything you'd like to say?